Best greetings from Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. My name is Viktor Fursov, and today, June 28, 2018. And I am in the center of Kiev, and this is Kontraktova Square, and this is a monument to Getьману Сагайдачному. By the way, Gетьман, it means a military leader, approximately 250 years ago. And I am standing here just in this square, just near these flowers. And I found this nice place with flowers to tell you the story of entomologists, because the story of entomologists can be interesting for you. So if it's interesting, follow me, because this story will be about bumblebees. Well, I'm just coming to directly to this place with the nice flowers, and I found here that all these flowers were just with the bumblebees. Yes, here these clocks are just making a nice sound, because these clocks indicating the time about 1 o'clock. Yes, 1 o'clock, by the way, a quarter before 1 o'clock. And you see the bumblebees. Why bumblebees were living here in the city, and where do they live? And by the way, they're often living in the city, but just a few species which adapted to the urban areas of cities, because they can find some hollow places somewhere just under the ground or just over the ground, some hollow places like the nests for bees, or just nests for birds, I wanted to say. So some places approximately 10 centimeters on 10 centimeters or 15 on 15, and this hollow place, usually actually this is a former place where some mice lived. So if mouse lived in an interesting place, so created a special place, just cached some material inside. So this place has a special smell, which is very attractive for bumblebees in the springtime. Now it's the summertime, but the life of bumblebee starts in the spring, when appeared just a big bumblebees. Now here only small bumblebees, small size bumblebees. Why? So because big bumblebees, they are queens, and they appeared in the springtime. In the springtime it can be March or beginning of May, because they are sleeping, they are overwintering somewhere underground. Yes, bumblebees always overwinter underground in a hollow place, in a special nest, because they are sleeping during all the winter 3 months, or even more than 3 months, maybe 5 months, because they are going to sleep to overwinter somewhere in October. Okay, where will be no flowers anywhere, just in our temperate region. So when they overwinter, they were just waked in the springtime, and these queen of bumblebee, big one, started to search for the nest, for suitable place for the next colony in the new season. Now all these queens, they found their nests somewhere. Okay, maybe some hollow places available in a city, because here actually in the background you can see here, this is we call it a hostini dvor, which means guest sales house, big shopping center, which was in last century, 200 years ago, also was a huge place for trade. But now this is just a broken building. It's not under the reparation, so a lot of hollow places, a lot of unused places over there between the rubbish, underground, some hollow places where some mice live. So, and bumblebees, queens, they start colony underground. So what do? They collect nectar. They collect nectar on flowers, and they collect pollen on flowers. And queens, they're collecting all this pollen and nectar and coming with them just inside the nest. Yes, because bumblebees are there pollinators, and their most important function, this is a pollination of flowers. So they pollinate them, and they come in with a flower to the house, to their nest, and they're making like a special, like a bowl. They're making like a bowl inside this house. If there are something for heating, some material, they making creation like a small hollow inside. So the female or queen, they're just making a mixture of pollen together with nectar, and this is a food for larvae. So queen is making a wax cover. So inside this a special bowl with fox will be inside the nectar with pollen, and this is a food for larvae. Queen is laying eggs inside this just inside this special bowl, and larvae is hatching and growing in eating the pollen together with the nectar and growing. So then larvae is pupating and will give it and the next stage will appear the adults. So these adults already just hatched from the nest of the bumblebees. And what about these adults? The first of all, you need to say there are two races. Two races, this is a queen, and the second race is just working bumblebees. Working bumblebees may be of a different size. Why? Because if we were just hatched first bumblebees were very small sized working bumblebees. Here only very small bumblebees were first coming. Their size maybe about 1 centimeter or less than 1 centimeter. Very tiny, like the size of a honeybee. But bumblebee is usually very big, maybe 2 centimeters, 2.5 centimeters. But they are actually queens, and they appear maybe in July, in August. Now only small working bumblebees coming and just crawling around and flying around. They are collecting, as I said, pollen, and they're collecting nectar. So they're collecting nectar and pollen and coming to their nest, because queen, their mother, is sitting inside their nest and waiting for them with this coming food, because they're foragers. So they're coming with food, with nectar and pollen, and give this food for the larvae, because queen, the female, laying eggs and producing offspring. So bumblebee, the mother, with the queen, is making just a colony. And colony is not very big, small colony, 50 individuals, and big colony maybe 100, 200 individuals. This is considered to be already just a big colony of bumblebees, 200. You know, the honeybees, they are creating a very big colony, more than 30,000 honeybees, or up to 50,000 honeybees, or big colony, 70,000 honeybees. In a bumblebee colony, only 200, maybe 300. This is a very big colony of bumblebees. So you see, they're creating a colony, and queen is sitting inside. Only working bumblebees coming up and down, in and out, and collecting pollen and nectar. And in the end of the summer season, in July or maybe in August, and even in September, some males hatching from the nest. Okay, they are hatching from the pupa, definitely from these balls, waxed balls with the food, because larvae eating the wax, eating pollen with nectar, then pupating, and from pupa will hatch the adult. Adult can be female, the working bees. This is a female, because they are coming from fertilized eggs, and unfertilized egg will produce the larva, and this larva will be grown into the male. The male is coming in July and August. Why they are important? Because in the same time new queens will be coming. New queens will be coming maybe in July and August. It depends from the temperature and the growth and development of a nest from bumblebees. So new queens, they're just unfertilized, so they're coming out of a nest, they're flying around, meeting with males of bumblebees, mating on flowers or just on plants, on ground. Sometimes it's possible to see, not very often. It's a rare case, but I've seen it just once in a botanical garden, in a Vidovich botanical garden, just near flowers in a steppe area of a botanical garden, Vidovich. You can come there, here in Kiev, in Ukraine. So after mating, so these females, sometimes they're coming back to the nest, a colony, or sometimes they're not coming after the mating. So that, again, they're flying around, they're feeding, okay, they're creating their body, the special body with a fat body, which is important just for overwintering. And in the September, maybe already in September, it's already called creating their overwintering hollow under the ground. They're coming, they're making like a hollow underground, or they use the hollow underground. They're sitting inside like a ball and sleeping through the winter, and sleeping during some months of autumn, then winter, and even some months of spring, because in March usually very cold. So they're hatching somewhere queens in April. This is very normal time. Together with the first ephemeroid, the first spring flowers. A new cycle of bumblebees will start in the new spring. So that's a long story, by the way, sorry about that. But maybe not everybody knows about how it's growing and developing. And it's a great pleasure to be here, even in this, okay, now this is some drops of raining, but bumblebees were very important pollinators and they are so busy usually if rain is dropping in. Raining just started, they're still working, but honeybee is afraid about it. If it's cloudy, they do not come out of a hive, so they're sitting and waiting for the nice weather. But bumblebees were different. They are so crazy, they come into flowers because they know they need urgently the food for their larvae, for their queen, which is producing new generation of bumblebees. So they are hardworking insects. Okay, that's a short story or long story about bumblebees here in the center of Kiev, near this monument of a Getьману Сагайдачному, military leader of Ukrainian army 200 years ago. Okay, this is a historical monument, and this was a story of Viktor Fursov, entomologist, beekeeper teacher. Welcome to my channel, subscribe, press like, and write your comments under this video. If you are on Gmail, it's easy to write your comments. Thank you for watching. Look forward to see you as subscriber, as my viewer and commenter. Thank you, good luck, and see you soon on my channel. Bye bye. Now you can see the bumblebee hives. This worker is just feeding on a flower because it's a cloudy and this worker not so active, feeding slowly. But this is a worker because you can see the last pair of legs with the corbicula, shining leg, this tarsi and tibia, which is important for collecting pollen. Okay, thank you for watching.